Gute. So 2016 is coming to an end, and in the good tradition of this year, everything is breaking apart. The vacuum cleaner also died, so I had to get a new one. So, and I just tried it out. I just unboxed it. Actually, the box is in the next room. This thing was a gift and it may have cost like 50 euros, and this thing I just bought cost like 200. This actually won't make any sense to compare both of them. Just so you know where I come from, I didn't expect anything from a vacuum cleaner. The problem with this is actually the motor is running just fine and everything else, but the connector just died. It's just falling apart. When looking for a new vacuum, I searched the internet, but there was just crap. So I hope my crap will help you a little bit. Actually, there is a plate on the back, and it says like maybe 2002 with the serial number if it's numerized, but I didn't get another date from it. So we just say it's something like 10 years ago. And it did a pretty decent job. For my taste, it was a little too loud when using it. That's all I had to complain about. Let me talk you through it. We have the Miele Complete C3 Comfort EcoLine. Whatever it means in the shop, they all look the same, and the only real difference is that this has just an 800 watts power motor. Another version of it has 1200 watts, but I can assure you this thing sucks really well in a positive way. Just to start with the breaking point, of course this is just attached to here and you just squeeze it and then it works. I think there's also a potential point of failure. It came with 4 attachments, so you can see 3 of them in here. So the best thing about them is that they are hidden in this box, because I will never use them. This is the original tag, but you can also use a generic brand. One funny thing is this is whole plastic and it's thick as hell, and it has this plastic gauge in there. I don't know if you need it, but yeah, fancy pantsy. This actually is quite big, so you have a lot of dust to get in there. Here you see, you can detach this filter, and actually it came with the second best filter, that is AirClean Plus 50. You can also buy the HEPA filter. So it's just popped in here, so it doesn't matter which model you buy, you can exchange them. They will fit into all the C series models. One really cool thing is this red line. So when you receive the filter, you have to push this button. You see there's like a reservoir down here, and if you push it, some liquid will come here, and after 15 seconds you'll see the red line appearing. They say if it's fully red you should exchange the filter. This should last 50 hours. If you clean 1 hour a week, it should last you like a year. I was told that the best filter will cost like 30 euros. You don't need to replace them immediately. Just the air that's coming out of the vacuum will be dirtier. Maybe not that good if you have allergies, but you won't die immediately. So we just put it back together. According to the manual, which was written in really big letters, there will be a lamp telling you when you have to replace the filter. So another question is, where does this pipe lead? Actually, this is quite neat. If you have a look at it, it ends in a handle. You see it has a really nice grip to it. And it also has a few buttons, and if you click them, you see a light is coming on. So that was my first question. Since there's a light and there's no cable running to it, it needs the battery. So there's a small button cell battery in there, and it's set to last like 13 months. So we will see how this turns out. And what this does is this will control that. So you can increase the power, decrease the power, and start and stop the engine. So the connections are quite skookum. as skookum as it can get with plastics. You can extend and increase this, blah blah blah. And you have the cleaning head. So with a preset for carpet cleaning and flat surfaces. So if we turn it around, so we can see that pressing it just extends this little brushes. Nice. And has a nice touch in it. It's a really big wheel and it's really running well. Okay, it's just 1 hour of age. So that's it. One downside of it is if you have a look at the size and then compare it to the old one, it's really high. So you see this additional height. This kind of forehead is really big. I think I can't clean everywhere where I was able to clean before, because this few millimeters really matter. Okay, but anyway, therefore I have this one. This guy is sure to be flatter. I didn't flip it around, did I? So you see, it has 3 independent wheels and it has, what did they call this? Dynamic driving. What is dynamic driving? Dynamic driving is this kind of sleigh before it. So if you are entering like staircase or whatever and an increase of height, then it will just slide up there and then roll again. And it's really okay, it's brand new, it better be, but they're really fine. And if you roll them, oh nice, like it. So the most important test, it's said to be rated at 75 dBA. Nobody knows what this number means. You know, like 120 means a jet right starting next to you, and 50 means like whispering to somebody or something like this. I can't show you with the camera because most likely it will auto correct the noise level. But what I can do is I can compare both of them, and I can use this crappy multimeter because it has also a dB level meter. We can use this to measure this one, and we can also use this to measure the other one, the other one, the other one. And we also have the numbers. So we should get a quite accurate reading on this. We try again. But it's set to minimum and action. Let's go. So between 60 and 74. We try this one. This is neater because I don't have to bow down. And action. So 55 and increase the power. Whoa, great. 65, so it's 10 dB less than labeled on the packaging. I'm very pleased. And also, the frequency is much nicer to hear because it doesn't have this stinging noise in there. 10 years of evolution and maybe 150 euros of price difference actually pay out in less stress for you. Here, maybe you remember this thingy, like my parameter, just checking watts and stuff. It was advertised with 800 watts, so we see what it chooses. Okay. 760 and going down. Pleasure of the remote control. What's really nice is that the standby doesn't seem to choose anything. In comparison, the washing machine still chooses like 2 watts on standby. Storing the broom will deactivate the standby, and it activates and it deactivates. One thing I almost forgot, as you see, it's really polished, really well polished, but this also has a downside because it gets statically charged and it picks the dust up like nothing. Actually, I had to clean it a few times during the shoot, and since it's a tool for dust removal, I think it's not that bright idea to make itself covering in dust every time you use it. One last thing, this thing of course has more gravity in it than the old one. Even the head, you can move it really easily, but yeah, it's just a little heavier. So that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Ciao.